So it's time once again to pass the final age cycles for a rare we've been watching for forever and try to take him out. And the best news is, our red deer has grown exponentially. He's 10 years old. Yeah, he looks terrible. He's a 1-star mature, and I think there's 2 age cycles left. I'm just hoping he maybe gets to 2 stars, because like, that probably wouldn't be a good 1-star adult. So we're gonna see what happens. And one thing that I've certainly learned here on Transylvania, there's big males all over the place, and the last thing we want to do is just skip over some cycles to get him to that peak age. So we're gonna try to hunt around, see if we can find anything else good, and we'll see if by the end of this, he reaches at least 1 more star rating. So you saw we fast traveled to that cabin over there. I wanted to check this lake, and we got a warning call from these fallow down here that pretty much forced us to go all the way out and around with the UTV, but it's worked out. We've gotten ourselves into a decent position, and there's a couple of things I've been watching in this area, including this 3-star mature. He's not terribly gray, and I'm hoping maybe we have a chance at another 5-star fallow. We've got 4 in the lodge now, but I just think they look fantastic. So this 2-star, even though he's also not gray, I think we want to go ahead and take him out, and I'm pretty sure at least that should have been a lethal shot, just in case. We're going to hit him again, and I do want to, if we can, and it's probably not ideal, those fallow are running over towards the reds. I want to go and check on them. There was a 4-star in this area. Gotta go and see what he looks like, and I think that's the herd. So we've got a 3-star there, and another 3-star. Either our 4-star died, or maybe it's 2 separate herds, because there are 2 herds of red deer that drink here. I just thought they were all in the same herd. But anyway, we'll grab our fallow deer, which I think ended up somewhere over here in the brush. Actually, he's laying right there. And as a 2-star mature, I think that's going to be okay to take out regardless. Oh, we were a little far back. Got just spine damage. But at 262, it wasn't enough. Then the follow-up shot, also in the spine, but doing the rest of the damage to bring him down. 62%, so that is a good deal on private land. And then the red deer, I didn't really see anything to manage. What are the odds that's the herd I want? Probably pretty high, so we're gonna go try to see them. I see one of them, so at least we can mark them. I haven't spotted everything, but I'm pretty sure there's no sign of any big mature stag here either, so gonna say he probably did die of old age, which is unfortunate, but there's a lot of places left to check, including a bunch of stuff that probably we haven't been to in a while. Well, we do have another 4-star fallow. This is actually in the area where we had our first 4-star, which unfortunately did die of old age, but now this is yet another place that we're gonna want to come back to and check on. There's another 2-star mature in here, and probably that's gonna be the thing to take. So we might as well try to do that. Maybe we can do so without making a spine shot this time. Though it certainly would help if he didn't just face exactly away from us. Probably, if he's going to lay down, we could just headshot him. You know, he doesn't look bad, though. He's kind of gray, so I'm going to assume it's still a good choice. And I am kind of curious. Hunting a couple of these fallow does beg the question. We got melanistic fallow added to Matariki Park. Can they spawn as melanistic now on Transylvania? If any of you guys have had that, let me know in the comments below, because that'll be even more reason to try to take out some fallow. They do live, you know, a little longer than some other species. The males, I think, go up to 12 years old. So, just naturally, if you're not shooting fallow, it's a longer process to get new spawns on the map. As for this guy, 69% or so, a little bit higher than the last one, but I still think good to take out, especially on private land. We might have a problem. Either I've counted wrong, or maybe that one 3-star adult mouflon we have just never had a chance to get to 5-star. But I'm sure we haven't passed enough time for him to reach his peak age, and yet there's no high star rating mouflon in this herd. And there is a 1-star young, which pretty much indicates he probably died of old age. That makes me think, though, maybe I have counted wrong, and maybe our albino red deer's on his last age now. So throughout this hunt, I've been resting every couple of in-game hours because the goal of the hunt is, of course, to pass time and age things up. So I believe we've probably just passed an age cycle, and that means there's a whole lot to check on. And now I'm really nervous about the albino red deer. I don't think he's dead, because he had an additional year over the mouflon, but I kind of think we're going to go there first. Okay, so at least our albino's still alive. Gonna check and see what he looks like. Maybe we'll have another star rating? It doesn't look like it. Yeah, he's still a 1-star mature. I want to call him in close, just because, like, it's been such a long time coming. But it's a little underwhelming that he is just a 1-star, but if I remember right, he was basically 1 year older than the mouflon, so I know this will be a little bit tedious, but the mouflon was a 3-star adult, and almost certainly that would mean it was 7 years old. Our albino red deer hit adult hit mature the next cycle, which means he would have been 8 years old. So the mouflon would have died at 11. I don't know if we're 11 or 12 now, and I'm just afraid that it might be 12. So because he's only a 1-star, let's call him in. I think now is the time. So there he is, in all of his 1-star mature glory, coming in, by the way, with a second 1-star mature, that at least he is bigger than, but that's a young mature, so I don't know if that matters. The saddest part of this is the first time, with any of the rares that we've taken, that we actually have to use the low fitness call to get him to come in. And kinda cool, we can see him out there actually calling. The wind is terrible here. I'm hoping we can get away with it, because I want to use the crossbow. We haven't used it in a while. And honestly, I don't even think when we first spotted this guy that the compound bows were in the game, so that was probably the weapon we had intended on using, and that's what I want to do here. And you know, all things considered, I guess he doesn't look bad. He just doesn't exactly look great, and I don't know why, but it kind of appears as though he's going to head on out of here. So we've repositioned, much better wind direction this time, and hopefully we can make this happen. Looks like it's time for another call, so we'll go ahead and do that. I'd like to get him into like 30 anyway. I don't think this guy being out front's gonna matter. And of course, we just went away from the camera, and he called. But this guy's at 40 here. So I feel like that's gonna be a doable shot even if he stops there. Maybe that'll be the plan. Next time he stops, which probably will be in the area of 30 or thereabouts, we'll try to make that shot. So into 40 yards, that stag getting pretty close, so I think we're gonna get ready. He's looking back. I think he actually sees us. Ooh. I didn't think he was gonna spook. Thank goodness we had time to get the shot off, and we were able to drop him. That actually kind of worked out better. I'd rather do it that way than him just sort of stop and look back, because at least it's less predictable. So close too, to being perfect for a photo. If the grass wasn't just completely covering his face, we'd have a really good thing lined up here. I mean, yeah, it covers it pretty bad. So I suppose that'll work. You can see the way that we have to like kind of crouch here on the hill. The crossbow is clipping through our leg, so try to make the most of it. But what was the genetic percentage on our first albino red deer ever, which by the way, 35 yards, we were 0 for 22 and just really didn't have time to change anything? Got him pretty much center punch the lung. I will take that any day, given the circumstance. 37%, man. There's some good red deer here. I think we killed a 5-star on this creek, not the same herd, the herd just south of this one. And this guy ends up being a 1-star mature at 37%. But like I said, at least he's kind of decent. I mean, he ended up being, well, like a 6x6? Pretty compact. But that is definitely gonna go into the full body multi-mount that we have in the lodge. So we'll go ahead and I guess we'll look at the final score. 234. Boy. I don't know if we've had a rare under 300. So let's tax him. I will be curious, what is the 2-star requirement? I feel like we're in the encyclopedia a lot today. So for 2-star, you need 260. He was pretty shy, and I guess we're gonna go and find out. We might as well jump back to the main lodge. The one good thing about taking forever to get him, by the way, it's way into Mouflon drink time. We're gonna go and check on that spot, but we'll place him, and we're gonna, I guess, see where we are in the age cycles, because frankly, I got no idea. So, new albino, gonna put him as the back mount, mostly because the one out front here is kind of like a wonky 5-star. and I like the look of him there. I think it actually does look pretty good though. And I suppose since we had him there before, we'll go just over the top of that and put the 5-star stag that we had. I don't know what the difference there is, but I think we're going to go with this one. And now we'll go out and try to figure this thing out, because we may still have a decent mouflon on the map. We may not. I'm really completely lost. I'm pretty much convinced, checking out all the mouflon in the area, I do think just at some point we passed an age cycle and just didn't realize it. And the problem was, like with our albino red deer, he would almost never seem to grow at all, so I couldn't rely on just paying attention to what his rack looked like. And that would be my guess, that we may have missed out on a 5-star mouflon. So what we do know is that we've got good mouflon genetics around here, and I'm fairly certain anyway this 1-star adult's pretty uneven. So we're gonna try to get him. That'll bring him down, and maybe we can at least help to get a future 5-star up here. So from what I'm seeing, he is uneven. I think that's gonna be the right choice. When it's a spot that produces a lot of high genetic potential rams, I think even higher than normal would be okay, but 61%? Pretty much anywhere we want to take out. Even if that was in the 70s, I would have been good with it, but that should help the future offspring, and kind of a bummer to find that out. So we still had that road here, though frankly I kind of think it's dead too. We'll probably buzz over there super quick. Well, there's a mature there, but it's a 1-star mature. So I'm pretty sure the roe deer and the mouflon were all the exact same age, and unfortunately it happened to be the one cycle that we missed out on. I guess we'll try to go and get that 1-star mature roe deer, but that's such a bummer that we maybe could have had, I think, one potential 5-star mouflon, and the roe deer I think would have made it. I'm fairly confident the other mouflon just never would have gotten to 5-star, but I guess there's the fallow still. But man, it sucks to be managing for genetics now instead of potentially reaping the benefits of it. So that would be him. The only good news is I could see where they stopped at, so pretty easy to get over here and get in range. Not sure why, but he has decided that he wants to trot out of sight. Where did he get to? Going back down the other side there. If he'll just slow down for a second. At the very least, we can begin the process all over again of trying to get some decent ones in here, and we'll see what happens. I did talk about, I think it was in the last video, I really do want a melanistic roe deer, so maybe this will work out. Maybe the management that we're going to start pretty much from scratch again with will end up producing something good in that realm. But I really would have liked to have seen what that guy would have become. As for this one, double lunged him at the very least. He is a, wow, 13%. It's crazy there was one big enough to be a 3-star adult in that same herd. And that'll definitely help things out for the future, so maybe that'll help us to get there. Wait. Is that a melanistic fallow? It is. Literally, so that means our 4-star died. Remember the 4-star we found earlier on in this video? I think it was maybe the second thing we spotted. A 1-star young melanistic fallow has taken his place. So of course we find a mela, just not the particular species I was talking about. Kind of encouraging that we came from a herd that at least produced a pretty good looking 4-star. So there's no way we're going to be able to call that in. Only mature animals seem to respond to calls. I want to know how big he is though, because I can see a little bit of his right antler. He has to be a year old. Literally since basically we found out that everything died, I've been checking on that 4-star fallow every cycle, trying to see if he would get to 5. This is the first year this has been here for sure, and the 4-star's gone. How big is he though? I mean, for a yearling, that is not bad at all. So what are we looking at? That one right in front of him is bigger for sure. That's also a 1-star young. So I'm going to assume he's probably a year or so older. That's a 1-star adult next to him. That's what I want to kind of compare. I mean, there's a little bit of palmation already on the antlers. We might have something a little bit more promising. And of course, it's on the day where we kill our weakest genetic potential rare ever. So I'll tell you what, we're going to be back on Transylvania plenty, trying to age that guy up now. And one thing I'll say for sure, we're going to count age cycles very, very carefully, because I don't want to lose out on stuff again, but that is awesome. Had to be pretty careful coming down here. Obviously, we're taking the UTV over. Looks pretty good to me, though. I don't know what, like, a promising one-star young fallow looks like. Pretty much every big one we've ever shot has just been like, oh, hey, there's a 4-star. We'll pass an age cycle or two or see what happens. I think that looks good. That's probably the best thing that could have happened, because I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty bummed out about losing out on some of those 5-stars, and it was gonna be tough to come back and keep on managing our herds. Now, this probably has been at least one of the videos where we've killed at least some of the lowest total numbers of animals ever. I looked at our hunting log, we're at 5, so we're at least gonna go kill like 1 roe deer, keep managing those genetics too, but now I'm really excited to come back. And we have a 3-star adult. So a little potential replacement for the thing that I believe we lost out on. 2-star mature down there, maybe that we can take for management purposes. Got a 1-star young in there. This is the same herd where we killed our 5-star, so especially here, having a 3-star adult is really encouraging. So I suppose we'll try to get a shot at that one. Kind of awkward angle. I think we can get into the lungs though. That'll do. So a little of additional management, gonna make sure there's nothing else crazy coming running out of there. But I'm glad we came down here and checked. I sort of haven't been paying as much attention to this herd because of the one that at least had a potential 5-star with the last 3-star adult. And a pretty good ending to what was, for quite a while there, looking like a kind of depressing video. Our roe deer made it maybe like, yeah, 25 yards, not far at all. Not bad either, gotta kind of sneak that behind the shoulder. Got into the back of the lungs, liver, no big deal to bring him down, 52%. I'm pretty excited to see, and we're gonna go back to the lodge anyway to get one last look at the albino stag, but I really was kind of bummed out that, let's say that last 3-star adult roe deer was gonna make 5-star, and I assume probably it would have, 3-star adults usually do. I wanted the second roe deer for this mount, and I thought we finally had it, but unfortunately, that other one died, so hopefully this next 3-star adult makes it, we can complete that, and now we have a melanistic fallow so long as we pay attention, and don't almost let it die like we did with the albino red deer. Maybe he can go here, but I'd probably rather him in the main part of the lodge. We'll figure that out when that time comes, but one thing I can say for sure, we'll be back on Transylvania. The herd management and genetics management we've been working on today, hopefully that'll help us out, and hopefully we can actually reap the benefits as I talked about earlier. And we'll see what happens with that and where our melanistic fallow ends up. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video, so as always, thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you next time.